Hello, water signs. You are up next for your full moon in Leo tarot readings. So the first sign I'm going to read for is lucky Cancer. So let's see what Cancer has on the cards today. And don't forget, guys, sun, moon and rising, it's all applicable because they are very big aspects of ourselves, not just our main sun sign or main zodiac sign that we've come to know. Okay, so let's see what's on the cards for Cancer first up. Okay, so a bit of conflict going on. The first card is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords comes up when there's been a bit of a heated exchange or lots of mental conflict. There's often like a clashing miscommunication energy going on, and it's often a card that shows up when there's a lot of pride. So when the ego's kind of stepped in, it's like when we're really in love with someone, but we think that they're wrong about something. So we might go on the verbal attack and attack their beliefs and, you know, kind of undermine who they are, even though we love them, just because our ego's like, they're wrong, I need to be right, and feel safety in that feeling of being right. So this can often show up. It's a card that often shows up as well when someone's had to walk away from something. So it's like the battle's been had, they've had it out fighting, and someone has had to turn their back and walk away because the communication just is not going through. It's a massive breakdown of communication that stops any of the love, any of the healing that needs to occur for these two parties to come back together. So it just feels like that's happened, and this card is him holding his head. So it's like a massive headache. It's like that mental angst that, you know, why can't they just see that I'm right, or why can't they just see things through my eyes? But you could be either one of these people in this situation. You could be the one that's had to walk away, or you could be the one that's kind of stood their ground and then thinking, what have I done? I've lost them. So if this is you, healing is required, which is the very next card. The Empress is all about that earth energy, that creation, that healing, that inner divine feminine softness, which is exactly what this energy needs to come in and heal. There's also the full moon up in the corner of this card. So another shout out to the full moon in Leo. And this card also has represented in it all of the different elements. So it's like everything coming together for healing, including that communication. So if you do feel like you've been in this state, please sit with it. As I always talk about, sitting with your emotions. The next card that's come up is the Queen of Cups, which is your card, Cancer. You are the Queen of Cups. It's that beautiful, soft, intuitive water energy that connects you back to your heart and your intuition. This card has zero intuition in it. It's all that mental and that, I'm getting, you know, that resistance and that urge to fight and to kind of prove your worth. But at what cost? At what cost does this have to happen? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth losing the relationship over? So if you feel like you have been in that place, this is encouraging you to come back to your heart, come back to your softness, come back to your intuition. These are two of the most feminine kind of cards in the deck, where it's that real, healing, intuitive, feminine vibes. There are a few others as well, but these two very powerful ones. So it's really encouraging you to step in and do this and use the moon, Cancer. You are ruled by the moon, so you can kind of harness that energy really effectively to pull it in for healing as well. And when you find that softness in your heart, the communication lines are going to open up. When I look at this, I see her hands reaching up. It's like a new opportunity coming in to connect with that heart and to restore a relationship, because the cups are all about relationships and emotions. And yeah, cups is your element. The water, the cups, it's you. So I feel like you're being pulled away from yourself a little bit. Circumstances have pulled you away from that intuition, away from your soul, and now it's time to reconnect back in, drop back into your soul. Okay, so I'll pull an affirmation card. Whoa, one's just jumped out and then everything fell apart. How's that? Fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So that's really beautiful as well, because this kind of shows up when we feel like we're going to lose something, but in fighting for that, we lose something else, which is the human connection and relationship. So I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Love trumps all, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, so tap back into that intuition and find that softness. Okay, that's you, Cancer. Moving on now to Scorpio. So Scorpio, you are one of the fixed signs. Feel free to watch my intro video if you'd like a bit more info about the full moon in Leo general vibes, but I did mention that fixed signs might be hit a little bit harder because Scorpio is actually squaring the axis between the sun and the moon with this full moon, which just makes it a difficult angle, makes the energy feel a little bit restrictive, that's all. So it's nothing to freak out about, but if you are feeling a bit topsy-turvy, then the moon might be throwing a spanner in there for you. Okay, so wow. All right, packing your bags there, Scorpio. First card is the Ten of Wands. So this is a completion of a cycle of the Wands energy. So this is the completion of that fire. So you might feel like something's run its course, and this is a homecoming. So this is kind of recognizing that it's time to go home. You've packed your bags. It can feel like a lonely card. She's on her own. She does have some kind of bull or something there to help her out, but it is a very lonely card. It feels like a burden. It feels like you've got all these heavy bags and you're left alone to pick up the pieces and take it home. But it is the completion of a cycle. So this is a real softening of that fire energy. It's when the fire's kind of simmered down to the coals, and then it's like, all right, we're in it for the long haul. We're almost home. We've just got to carry these bags a little bit further, and then something new can come in. So it is quite a healing card, a card of resolution, a card of completion. And the next card that's coming in is the Page of Pentacles. So this is kind of looking to start something new in the material sense. So this could be a new job or a new place, like a new home or a new material object that you've been looking at. So the Pentacles do represent finances and material possessions, and the Page is like a young energy. So often the Page shows up when something new is coming in, or a new offer's coming in, or there's something new on the table within that material realm, or that affects our finances. So it's like, to me, this is kind of representing of a job or a business coming to an end. You're kind of wrapping things up and then looking forward to a new opportunity, kind of putting your feelers out with I'm getting inquisitiveness come through. So you're quite inquisitive, a bit curious, kind of branching out to see what you can do next with that energy. Okay, so there's not a lot of movement in this card yet, but I think that's because this one's still kind of getting to those final stages and then waiting for that new energy to come in. And the Knight of Swords has shown up as well. So you can look at this energy. There's also a lot of movement in this energy, running away from something. So you look at this Ten of Wands and then you look at this Knight of Swords. So you might be tempted just to drop these bags and run for the hills. So just keep a check on your mental activity at the moment, because the Knight of Swords can be very reactive, quite quick to anger, and he often charges ahead without thinking through the consequences long term, whereas this is a much more grounded energy. So really think it through if you are tempted to run away really quickly from something, because I feel like you might be tempted to bypass this card because it feels too slow and it feels too heavy and it feels too burdensome. But you might be called just to sit with this a little bit longer and allow the closure to come in completely, because you don't want to miss this opportunity, because there's a lot of happiness in this Pentacles card here. So yeah, just slow and steady wins the race with closing out this cycle, because you don't want to miss something beautiful because you're rushing ahead too quickly. So slow and steady, and just breathe. I feel quite short of breath talking about it, so I feel like you really do need to breathe into your body, because your fight or flight might be activated, because that's what that feels like to me, that nervous system overdrive where your fight flight kicks in and everything's just running on hyperdrive, which can affect our sleep, I'm getting, and hormones. And I feel quite a lot of physical resistance as well, like stiffness in my muscles. So just keep a check on that as well, Scorpio. And take it easy on yourself, okay? Give your body what it needs and just ride it out, because honestly, this doesn't feel like it's going to stick around for long, but it does feel like that residual energy. I feel like there's a conversation that has to happen around this energy with somebody. And final affirmation for you, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And that is such a Scorpio energy as well. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And that's this guy here. All right, so just don't be too reactive and flee for the hills too soon, because I feel like something a lot better is on its way in for you, Scorpio. All right, let's do Pisces. What have we got for Pisces? All right, feeling in our Pisces, let's go. Okay, got a bit of sneaky sword energy going on here. We've got the Seven of Swords that's come up first. So this is all about a bit of an illusion. And Pisces, because you're ruled by Neptune, Neptune is the planet of illusion. It's kind of that planet of obscure thoughts and what's reality, what's not. It's like that dream state a little bit, and I'm kind of getting that with this card, with that full moon shining down as well. So this is another shout out to that full moon. To me, this feels like this is often a card that shows up when there's someone with dodgy intentions around, like they might be trying to pull the wool over your eyes or tell you a lie, or just not quite give you the full picture of the truth. So it's like a cloak over reality, and you can see that kind of sneaking off in the background there. But to me, this kind of feels like, just intuitively what I'm getting is that, what are you hiding from yourself? I feel like this might not be another person in this circumstance. So if you're not feeling like it's another person, just keeping a check on yourself and your own perception about things. And I feel like some people need to cut off some toxic people in their life as well. I feel like there's some cords that need to be cut and some healing that has to be done, because this is carrying the past with you. That backpack on his back, I'm just really feeling like this is baggage that's been carried because of a story that you've told yourself from the past. So really moving on from that and allowing that healing to come in from the moon once again. The next card is the Hierophant. So if you can ditch that backpack and move on from this is a highly spiritual card. It's very grounded. This is the card of Taurus, and it's a highly spiritual card. It's a card of leadership. It's a card of higher learning. So really tapping into that as well, Pisces. And the next card is Three of Wands. So this is a passion, looking out to create something new. So this is a lot of inspiration that's coming in, and kind of plotting your next move. So we can't do that if we're holding on to all this baggage. And look how free this energy is. She's kind of looking out, deciding what to do next. There's nothing out there. So it's up to her where she wants to go, what moves she wants to make next. But I feel like you're on a really beautiful journey with this Hierophant card and that Three of Wands next to each other. So this is an illusion. It's in your mind. You don't have to carry this energy with you. You can cut off toxic people. You can heal from your past, and you can move on. You have the power to do that, Pisces. Very, very highly intuitive sign, as are all the water signs. But yeah, Neptune is extremely intuitive. We just need to make sure that it's not masked in that illusion. Oops, another one's thrown itself out. We've already had this one come out. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Okay, so whatever this challenge is, it's a big teacher, it's a lesson. Don't beat yourself up. It had to happen for you to learn and grow into this next phase of enlightenment, ascension, and to manifest where you're moving forward to next. So I hope that helps, Pisces. Please follow my socials, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and reach out if you're interested in a one-on-one private reading with me. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you.